Okay, so like I was saying that I feel sort of like I might end up getting not really backlash or anything, but there might be some commenters at the end of this on the VOD where, they'll probably tell me what's on their mind for the Owen Hart situation. But just know that I do know that it was very tragic and that there is no right way, wrong way to look at it and what happened. And putting the blame on well, I guess we could put the blame on everybody. It shouldn't just be directed towards one person because it was everyone involved except for like Owen. But I don't want people to think that like I'm on one side or the other side is supposed to present it as a neutral kind of way of looking at it, even though it was completely wrong. I do believe that while Vince is getting up there in age, like he just, doesn't give a shit at all on what he says or how he says it. But yeah, my whole thing is to try and basically have my community talk about certain things that are very uncomfortable to talk about and let people decide on what they want to believe and what they don't want to believe rather than me telling them what they should believe or shouldn't believe, and just presenting the facts and probably giving a little bit more information on like how things played out or like why somebody would think that way, giving a different perspective. That's like my whole entire deal here at the Square Circle podcast, is to make sure that I can give a different perspectives of whatever it is that we're talking about, and make sure that people understand that there's more than one way to look at something. It's not just your way and that's it. Because if you have like a narrow scope about what it is, then you're not really going to grow in terms of like looking and learning and realizing that there's all sorts of different types of perspectives and all sorts of different types of angles with the stories. That's why Vince said what he said, is to keep an open mind. I just wanted to further drive that point home. So whenever you're here at the Square Circle podcast, please make sure to keep an open mind to everything that I talk about and like the stuff that we discuss. So we are currently gonna watch this clip where Vince Russo, the title of it is called "Why Mercedes Moné Left WWE," and I'm just very interested to hear what these guys have to say.
Never ever forget. Pat Patterson laughed in my face. Russo'sBrand.com, where the pros are the pros.
Mercedes Moné has revealed why she left WWE, walked out. She revealed this on The Breakfast Club. She said, "I left for many reasons. A lot of personal stuff happened with myself and the chairman at the time. I didn't like how he talked to me and how I was talked down to. I was like, you know what? It's time to legit listen to your soul and your heart. There was a light that came to me one day, and I just left WWE. That day, he talked to me a little crazy. It was enough for my source of light to come into my body and go, if you stay, that's not okay. This is for the rest of your life. What are you going to teach your kids? You're feeling like this from words after being here for 10 years. You got to stand up for yourself." And that's what I did. Just a light, the same light that came to me when I was 10 years old, being like, this is your sole purpose. This is what you're going to do. Another light came to me and being like, you got to walk away and do something better for yourself.
I agree with her. I mean, 100%. You hear people all the time. My own son does nothing but bitch and complain about his job. I said, you're not a tree. If you're that miserable, just leave. I know it's a good, good pay and, good, it's a good job, but if it's good pay and it's a good job, why are you bitching? Why are you complaining? Why are you so miserable? And if you are so miserable, do me a favor. One day I was on the phone with him when he was at work. I said, do me a favor. While I'm on the phone with you, I want you to go find your supervisor, tell them you are so absolutely miserable and you don't want to stay here, and thank you very much. Have a good day, and quit. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, that's what you should do. Yeah. If you're not that happy, you hear people all the time. How many times in your social circle do you hear people and they're complaining about their job? Look, you can go find another one. Why stay there? And you're going to spend, what is it? I think probably almost 2/3 of your life working Why are you working at something you don't enjoy, or that is making you so absolutely miserable that all you do is complain when you're not there, or while you're there?
Especially when you've got a Tony Khan. When you're a wrestler,
Especially, it's especially. You have to pronounce the E. I'm just saying, it's especially. Especially? What? Especially. Sorry.
and you're miserable there, and you've got Tony Khan with his checkbook, like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but then they're miserable there too.
That's true. They'll become they'll become
I agree with her though. You can't, you can, if you're now having someone speaking to you in a way that you don't like and you don't want, you either stand up for yourself or you stand up for yourself and walk out.
Yeah, I don't know why she's if she's being truthful. I have no idea. When he says that last day he spoke crazy to me. Okay, what did he say? I have no idea why she's trying to protect him at this point. Like, what did he say to you that was so crazy?
Maybe it wasn't Vince. Maybe it was John Laurinaitis. Remember, they walked in that last day, didn't they?
Yeah.
If I remember the recounting of the story. She and the partner walked in and just sat the belts down on the tag belts down.
Yeah, her and Naomi. Yeah,
because weren't they asked to put somebody else over? And
I think so.
They basically said no. So, maybe maybe she was talking about the way John Laurinaitis approached her and when they probably disagreed and did not want to do it or do it in the manner or for the reason that they were asked to do it. And instead of having an how about this, they went, well, you know what, how about that? And they just laid it on the desk and walked out.
Yeah, she did say the chairman. So
she didn't say the chairman.
She said the chairman
up top.
Yeah.
You know what? I've thought about quitting this show several times. You being disrespectful.
Don't you get Jeff and I's hopes up. No,
you disrespecting. You never. I'm still waiting for my spot on Wrestlers 2. That has not been.
I'm waiting on my.
That has not been offered yet at this point. There's a lot of things out.
Yeah. I'm waiting for myself for that spot.
Can we speculate on what you just asked? Why would she not say what the conversation was at this point?
Yeah.
Because there would be no reason to, right? Unless she's given the plans for the evening. I'm not doing that. Then she got spoke to the way she didn't like in response to refusing to do something. So she doesn't want to tell that part of the story. I mean, that's
my headset is doing that thing again, and I hate it.
Pure speculation, but it could be something like that.
It could be. I mean, and probably was laid out, that, well, you're going to do this, and probably was made very clear. It's because it does get, I gotta say, it does get frustrating when you are dealing with talent, because you're always responsible. Again, you've got to keep the 10,000 foot view. You've got to see the whole forest. And they are sometimes so up close to their own tree.
Yeah.
They can't see nothing but, and they don't understand that, hey, right now, you're going to get beat, but it's going to open up a door and an opportunity 2 months from now that will allow you to do so much more and be so much more for the company. And it'll benefit everyone on the roster so much more by doing this.
That's exactly, yep.
They they're very myopic in their being able to see past their own desires, and and they get caught up in the win-loss thing way too much, to the point of where they even if they lose, they also overthink how they're losing.
And I get it too.
And then you add into that, paranoia, and they don't trust anybody. And it's always an uphill battle, bro. It
is. And and when you're the one guy who's now, let's say, and I'm not saying this in defense of anyone at all, let's make that clear, but you're the one guy that's been dealing with that all day, and now here comes talent number 12 of the day that's coming and going, hey, what about this? Why were you losing? And you're like, you just start, sometimes you kind of lose it, and no longer I should say you're probably no longer as diplomatic as you probably should be.
And it's funny because, like, back when you talk about working with pros, again, back in the day, bro, when I started writing and there was clearly a transition over to much more into entertainment. Bro, I will never, ever forget. Pat Patterson laughed in my face. But here's the difference, bro. When they started making money, Al, everybody was on board. That's all that mattered at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If there was more money in the paycheck, they were doing whatever you wanted, bro.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, again, that like I said, after dealing with one after another,
Yeah.
you know, Monet and their partner Naomi
Mhm.
coming in there and being 12 of 15 of them or something.
Yeah, we get to the point. We get to the point. I'm sure I got to this point at TNA where it's like, bro, go out there and do whatever the fuck you want to do. You're never going to get over it. Go out there and do what you want to do.
Yeah, but you can't do that because then the inmates, you know, you're allowed.
I did that though, Al. Then I left. I did that. Then I left.
Yeah, but you do have to at some point go, you know what? Just shut the fuck up and look, do what I ask you to do.
Yeah.
And do it this way. There's a reason I'm asking you to do it. So I've got a guy here, and I don't know how many times I have, based on my experience, based on what I'm looking for as far as an overall picture that he can't see. And I put it, you know, I literally go, hey, here's what you need to do tonight. Here's how I would like you to do it. Always. Well, what about this? What about that? And every time I give in, I acquiesce and I let him do what he suggests. He drops the ball every time. It does not work the way it should have. And I'm like, why do you not just trust me? You know, I don't tell and give instruction or specific direction on every match, just certain ones for certain times, for certain reasons, to do certain things. And a lot of them are to benefit you, the talent.
Of course, they don't. That's what they don't understand. At your job is to get everybody over. That is my job. The more people I get over, the more money I make. Why is that so hard for them to understand, bro?
Because you're burying them, Vince.
I don't. That's the part that drives me crazy. It benefits me to get as many people over as possible. So I'm trying to bury you.
Yeah. Why would I bury anybody?
Right.
Well, because otherwise, if I bury somebody, then they have no value to going forward.
Isn't that ridiculous, Al?
I want everybody to mean something.
Oh,
you know,
my
I can't
God.
have everyone mean everything. I got to have everyone mean something, but I'm not going to try to make anyone mean nothing. And yet they cannot get out of their own way.
They cannot fathom that, bro, which is the most ridiculous notion. Yeah, bro, I'm spending my time booking you so I can bury you. And how do I benefit from that?
Here's my other favorite, because like, remember we had, you know, Raw had Heat, SmackDown had Velocity.
Yeah.
Now we have a post-produced show we call Overdrive. So they now, I knew it was going to.
Hold on. I didn't see. This is why I don't know what's up with my headset. The only reason why I haven't stopped a lot and paused a lot is because I am agreeing with the majority of this. The only thing that I didn't agree, and I'll go back and talk about it after the video is done. But for the most part, like I agree.
Raw had Heat, SmackDown had Velocity.
Yeah.
Now we have a post-produced show we call Overdrive. So they now, I knew it was going to happen. If I book one of them on Overdrive, it's, I'm on the B show. There is no B show, moron. Both of them are an A because I'm using them to both get you over and both of them to possibly get an audience and also to get a network partner.
Man,
there is no B show.
I can't even get on that Overdrive show, let alone Restless. Let alone Restless too. What else you got for Al? A lot of wisdom today from Al.
Okay. I'm gonna have to agree there is definitely a lot of wisdom from Al Snow there. I didn't realize that he has such a deep voice, especially hearing it in my headset, like so close to my ears. But I do. The only thing that I like sort of disagree with, because of course everything can be handled a different kind of way, right? Like, I understand that feelings get in the way, emotions run high, and sometimes you go with what like your body does, especially if you're having like a bad day and you accidentally blow up on somebody and then later you're like, oh shit, I should never did that. There are different ways to like handle situations, but sometimes in the moment, like shit happens. The whole thing about like when people complain about their job, like everybody does it. People complain about like everything, and that's just, I don't know if that's like a natural thing that like we all do, but like we're all human. We all feel these emotions. We don't know how to like regulate our emotions to be like, well, if you feel that way 100% of the time, yeah, you should definitely quit, but you should also try to have like something else, like a safety net underneath, right? Before you like quit, or you just want to quit and like take an adventure and take a risk on yourself, which sometimes you can definitely do. But that's like the only thing that I sort of disagree about is that like, the way that, just telling somebody, yo, you got to stop complaining to go do something else. Or, you could just definitely tell your friend that like, look, man, I know you don't like your job anymore and whatnot. You might want to go talk to management maybe to see if like they could do something, they could switch it up or whatever to where maybe you could be happy if like you really do enjoy what you're doing. Because like, people enjoy the work that they're doing. It's just that nobody wants to be micromanaged. Nobody wants to, get whatever the case. Like sometimes it's management that gets on them, but they do love what they do. But I do want to say that for the rest of it, yeah. I do agree that like sometimes wrestlers do get into their own heads about their win and loss record. But I think that that's for like wrestling fans that are chronically online, and we had a ranking system in AEW. So it's one of those things of like when you look at your win and loss record, and if you have more losses than anything, you're going to be like, oh, people are going to consider me a jobber and jobber this and jobber that. But at the same time, wrestlers forget that they're getting a paycheck, like a guaranteed paycheck. They're not on the indies trying to survive and maybe not even get paid or even get paid in a hot dog, right? So like the ones that are signed to major companies are getting a check until they part ways. So even if you are losing, something good is going to have to come from it, because if you keep losing, then it's like, all right, so I see that you obviously have nothing for me, if it goes on for like all these years. But if you're trying to tell a story through the losses, that win, that victory is going to be so much sweeter, so much better, so it's a double-edged sword. This whole entire conversation is a double-edged sword. But like, Mercedes again recounting why she left WWE. It's like, stop talking about WWE and talk about AEW. But it's that attitude and pride that she has. But you can have pride is okay a little bit, and depending on the situation. But you also have to remember too that it's a business. Vince is seeing everybody if he can, and like also anybody else is seeing everybody, and emotions are running high. So giving attitude or not liking how you're being talking to without realizing that like he's having a long day, just like you having a long day. So it doesn't make sense to get all uppity and stuff. People wanted to chalk it up to like, oh, she's being her own boss and doing what she wants to do, and leaving on her own terms, which is great. It's empowering. It's great. But it's like, you could have handled it a different way where like, maybe with the tag team titles, like do the job and then decide to leave. Because then it would have looked better.
Hey, with Priceline VIP family,
It would have
you can
looked better,
unlock
and
deals
like
5
it
times
would not
faster. You
have
don't even have to be an actual
the same
family.
bad
I do that.
connotation
Hey, physically.
for what they said on
Russo's brand-
commentary about them. So that's just my two cents. But Alcino is completely right. The other thing too is that I don't understand the whole the wrestler thinks that somebody is burying them when they're getting booked. It's like, no, I don't think that's how that works. Like, they're not burying you. Like, you're not going to go to the B show. And even if you did go to the B show, make it like the best B show in your mind. Like you're there to work. Yeah, everybody wants to be on the A show, but not everybody could be on the A show. We see this very similar happening to like WWE. WWE has a lot of top stars, and not everybody could be a top star. So you have to like relocate some wrestlers to the other brands to bring not only awareness, but like, they could bring up the stock. It like, we're in 2024 where like burying should have like a slight different definition. and or maybe an add-on definition for it, just because it's like, times are changing. There's a different formula for like what it means to like be buried now, just looking at what WWE is doing, sending wrestlers that aren't being used to NXT to do some NXT stuff, sending wrestlers to TNA, TNA wrestlers coming over to WWE to get that treatment, sending wrestlers to SmackDown and Raw, sending wrestlers to WWE Speed because they have the partnership with Twitter. So nobody should be feeling like they're going to be on like a B show or a C show. It's just that for years before Vince McMahon got out of power, he made it that way, and he let like this show is like definitely the B show. This show is definitely the C show. Like he made you realize that. Now in 2024, Triple H is like, nope, we're not having that. Every single show you're on is going to be the best show ever, and we're going to have some fun here. This video is basically Vince Russo talking to Stevie Richards about why he left social media. And I thought that was very interesting. I wanted to see the video and I wanted to see it with you guys. Yo, Lion, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream.
Where the pros are the pros. If I didn't have to promote Russo's brand, I would never be on social media. I've said that a million freaking times, bro. But I got to tell you, with me, Stevie, when I get in those spaces of I got to get away from social media for a couple of weeks, I do see a drop in business. That's why I go back on, because when I'm not present and on there, I can see a drop in numbers. But you told me this morning, bro, like enough. Like you're putting a fork in it. It's finished. No more social media for you, despite your very, very, very popular brands. So I just want to get your take on all this.
Well, first, there's no come to Jesus moment. There's no linchpin or event. There's nothing that provoked this thing. This has kind of been like measuring it over months, maybe even more than a year. Looking at the business, looking at the brands. If you want to look at it as a business thing, because that's the first thing you said and other people that I told about this, I do not get any kind of traction on social media. My company, the fitness company, is different than the wrestling stuff that you're talking about, where you have to interact and you have to promote this, or obviously we need to put a bit of clickbait in there to get people to be curious with it. But with me, I look at mine and I say, it feels so much better too to interact directly with the comments on YouTube, to get emailed directly, especially I just talked about my weight gain from the Right to Censor days and got many, many email messages and was able to communicate one-on-one with people like that. Also, it just comes in a time of time management. My time management, like any human being, if you just want to look at this, you want to pick it up. We're all socially engineered to pick this up with the FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah, we are. Oh, well.
But I found when I didn't do that, first day or two, I kind of was like, I wonder what's going on, as anybody would do. Then like day 3 and 4, I was filling my time up with trying to learn to be a better video editor, better storyteller, getting the manual and custom settings down on my camera, starting to maybe write the book and talking to Mike from ECW Press about it. These are things that social media, the average social media, or let's just say screen time is another thing. I watch a lot of YouTube and stuff, so my screen time's still way up there. I haven't disconnected, but people spend an average of 2 hours and 33 to 38 minutes per day on social media. And I have a video I'm going to put up on my fitness channel with an actual schedule, a PDF of what I plan to do to fill in my time from 3:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. when I start getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to share that as a free blank PDF if somebody wants to try to be more efficient with their time management. So for me, it wasn't everybody's being mean to me. I did shit on all the time with the new show and everything and calling me names and all that stuff. That's great because those comments are money. interaction algorithm. Well, I get that part of it. But for me, I find myself not growing as much as a business, as a brand, as a person, as a man, as anything, because doom scrolling and doing all this stuff. And let's face it, my wife got off for about 2 weeks. She had to check it like for her birthday recently. She looked. It's the same.
It's the same thing.
WWE. It's the same 6 to 10 types of videos that are out. No matter what it is, it's always, I can go away for 6 months, just like wrestling, come back, and it's the same thing. I want to touch on it, just finished it right here too. I've always been good, and you know about this creatively with me in the wrestling business. I've always been very good at being counterculture, meaning whenever the trend's going this way, I'm going to try to isolate myself and find a niche that's different, that's not part of the group. All the fitness stuff is going back into the stunts, even the brands I work with, having people flex their quads in front of a rack. Why am I going to buy, excuse my language, why am I going to buy a fucking rack because someone is just flexing their quad? I'd rather watch a 10-minute video telling me how long did it take to ship? Was it a pain in the ass to assemble?
Yeah.
Is it holding up well? Even my videos have been cut down by time because I was just doom scrolling and looking at social media way more. Now that 2.5 to 3 hours per day, I could learn DaVinci Resolve. I could learn photo editing.
Yeah.
I could go outside. I can get another workout in, which is probably another dangerous thing. But I could ramble on and on about it, but it's not the, oh my God, the world is coming down on me and I'm getting rid of social media. If anything, I'll probably keep the accounts because just like you, there's shadow accounts and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. If you delete your social media, they've already created 3 other accounts, not a conspiracy, to puff up their numbers and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. It's like DDP way back in it. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It really is, because I was wasting valuable time to improve myself and my business, believe it or not using the social media.
Stevie, I think that's why I always wind up overfilling my plate. You know what I mean? Because if my plate is overfull, that means I'm always doing something. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I do it. Like, bro, the book has been tremendous. Like, if you start putting your energy there, bro, I was sitting there saying, oh my God, Vince, like, cause Michael had told me, like, Vince, 60 to 70,000 words, 250 pages. And I'm like, bro, I can't fill 250 pages. And Stevie started writing. Bro, I think I'm at 230 now and not even close to the end. But I think that's why people like you and I, bro, I think that's why we continually fill our plate. So there always is something for us to do. I think that's vital, bro.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But what we have to really break down, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And how's it serving us and how's it serving others? Because doom scrolling or look at social media, it's taking away from my mission statement of everything I do, and that's educating people and teaching people and sharing a story. I could become way better of a storyteller and make my fitness videos. I watch other creators that do a great job, like Trent the Traveler and other people. You'd like that guy. He travels around in the van, but it's very cinematic. If I could figure out a way of doing my fitness review videos or anything like that in a more mini documentary type of form, I could literally have a new genre of that and maybe get other work of, you know how to edit videos, you know how to film. Can you help us with this? Can you help produce an independent wrestling show? You seem to know how to direct stuff. That's what I mean. There might be other opportunities left on the table that social media is literally taking away from that. And for anybody, I thought, well, it's for my business. And then I really looked at the messages, even on it, say Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. Like 1% of them are business. Everybody emails me, or if you know me, you have my number anyway. You can text or call. I really want to regress this. Maybe by the end of the year, this will be a flip phone.
Well, I totally get where Stevie is coming from. That's a very good idea. For most of the part, like big content creators and big streamers obviously like use Discord a lot to make sure that they stay in connection with their community. I have a Discord as well. If you guys have not you know, decided to join the Discord, you can. You could also check out again Fourth Wall as well. Even though it says buy some merch, there is like, you know, you can join Fourth Wall there. But yeah, I mean, it's totally true for us content creators that like we want something a little bit away from social media. I'm on social media way too much. I would tell you that right now, and I've gotten burnt out in the past, but I'm on social media to, you know, make sure my name is still in rotation for conversations in the wrestling business and even in the wrestling community, but also to like try to get some content going and promote my content and then bring the content here to the live streams so we can like talk about it, look at it and stuff like that, because eventually I'm gonna run out of videos to watch. Maybe I just feel like I'm gonna run out of videos to watch, and I don't want to watch like random stuff that have nothing to do with wrestling, because usually what I do watch when I'm not streaming is a lot of Asmongold, a lot of reaction channels, some food channels. I've been recently like watching like how to build a homestead and how to have chickens, because I do want to like have my own supply of chickens. Like I have my own supply of eggs, because like grocery prices are so annoying. Egg prices are annoying, so I want my own chickens, and I want my own eggs. So I've watched other things that are not wrestling related all the time when I'm, you know, here, when I'm not like streaming. Okay. We'll save Jim Cornette for last. Also, if you do join the Discord, and I keep saying this, I just don't know why no one has used it yet. But if you do join the Discord, you can suggest videos for me to watch and react to live right here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast, and also on twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows. You guys can suggest matches that we could watch, if like, you know, make sure that it's not going to be copyrighted and stuff like that, meaning that like, you know, no New Japan, no Japanese wrestling kind of videos, except for Marigold. Marigold, fine. I don't understand, but Marigold is fine. But yeah, like in the Discord, if you guys join, you guys can definitely read the rules and start suggesting podcast clips, you know, stuff like that. There is the Ricochet clip. There is a Ricochet podcast that he did with Talk is Jericho, and basically, you know, again, I have wanted to pose this question to my community, and hopefully on the VOD you guys can leave me a comment about it. Where does Ricochet make art when he wrestles? He said that he makes art, and I'm like, I don't know about that and I don't see it. So if someone could give me their perspective and share their passion with me, for me to see where this art comes from, I would love to know. And I'm genuinely no. I'm being genuine when I'm asking it. I said the wrong word before, but I'm being genuine when I'm asking it because I really want to know. I'm not doing it to troll. If you think I'm trolling, then that's on you. But for the most part, I want to know where this art comes from with Ricochet. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you are lurking, please make sure to hit that like button right here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast. The more likes that you hit it, it goes into the YouTube atmosphere, and that definitely helps us out.
Pushing the limits starts long before you cross the finish line. It begins the moment you say,
"What about the newest?"
Damn. Right in my ear. Right in my ear. All right. By the way, I've been drinking a lot of water, so like I am just taking breaks so much. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay. This is a Jim Cornette video instead. This is Jim Cornette reviews Ricochet versus the Beast Mortos in the confrontation with Will Ospreay. So a couple streams ago, the one, well, obviously before this one and the one before that one, where I talked about the promo, and we listened to the promo from Ricochet, and it included Will Ospreay, and I was just like, bro, you can't cut promos. I mean, even talking on the fly is not helping. So this is him reviewing that like whole little segment.
Multi-million-dollar acquisition in the AEW basket of puppies and kittens. Ricochet. Did you see the Ricochet match?
Basket of puppies and kittens. What? Oh my god. I like that.
Oh boy, did I. Against maybe someone getting equally as good a push right now. The Beast Mortos, I believe.
Rigor Mortis. Gold Rigor Mortis.
Stop it with that.
There's something so low rent about him that I like.
What?
It just looks like a generic luchador on like a garage show in Southern California.
What are those chains? The chains on his bull mask. There are chains hanging down on either side of the cheeks. How can you punch this guy without breaking your hand?
Jim Cornette just said that there's chains hanging down his body on either side of his cheeks. Does he mean his like butt cheeks? Like I don't really stare at the Beast Mortos, right? Like I know he has like chains and he has like the whole getup and everything, but like I don't know. Is he talking about his butt cheeks? Can someone tell me? Is he talking about his butt cheeks?
See, he's smart.
Well, anyway, this I got a little bit of it, and I had to get some relief. I had to fast forward through it because it's sloppy, nonsensical, aggressive parkour because you got what you got here. But it took their new big star Ricochet, who is what'd you say? Couple weeks ago. How long is it going to take him to be one of the boys? I said about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it took maybe.
Here you go.
Maybe quicker than that. Yeah,
We've never seen this fucking mentor until 2 weeks ago, and it took their new big signing 15 minutes to beat this guy, and he did it with a head kick to a stationary target that didn't come close, and then a reverse DDT slam thing. Not even a flying dingbat off the top rope.
Dingbat?
What the fuck was this?
There was a spot that people started sending around of Ricochet going for a kick or a stomp of some sort and completely missing.
Yes, that was there's the bull of the woods, baby, is on his knees with his head bent over, and Ricochet jumps up and is going to do a big flying stomp and came down like 6 inches in front of the guy's head and stomped the mat, and the guy collapsed. And it 15 minutes again of this.
You know what else doesn't help Ricochet? His promos. Because I saw the thing with him and Ospreay, the more he talks, I think the less people are going to want to hear him talk ever again.
I swear to God. We'll skip ahead because there's something else in between. But then the next time we saw Ricochet after the Battle of the Whiff Kick, he and Ospreay were in the back challenging each other. They're both baby faces, by the way. Ospreay is very popular, and Ricochet was presented in a way as to he should be popular, but now they're mad at each other.
Did Jim just really coin a new phrase? Popular? Jim!
And they're going to fight on October 2nd for the international title. Boy, whoopee, can't wait. And here's what I wrote. The longer Ricochet talks, the worse it is.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the truth.
Yep.
Ospreay, you can't even understand what he's saying, but at least he holds you.
Yeah, you're trying to figure it out. But with Ricochet, you hear it and
you're like,
you're not really stirred by it.
Yeah, you're like, I hate this guy. I don't want to hear this guy talk anymore. He's making me not like him at all.
Well, I mean, my take is that I don't hate Ricochet. I just have a lot of questions. And the recent interview that he did with Jericho, it's not very good. Meaning that like there's just like a lot of selfish things that I'm just like, bro, you're way too selfish to be in the business. But I could definitely be wrong, because you have to remember that being in the business and being in a company, it is a team effort. Sometimes, given situations and just given a bunch of stuff, right? Everybody's situation is going to be different, but if someone is telling you like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I should have saved the picture so that we could like read the quote together. Maybe we should do that afterwards, but I just don't like the approach he has when it comes to somebody telling him that you shouldn't be doing this with this other guy in the ring because it doesn't make any sense. There's a reason why he went over to AEW, because he's able to do whatever he wants to do with, regardless of like psychology behind it, regardless if it makes sense or not. Like he just wants to go out there and wrestle. And it's like, that's not all what wrestling is. If all you're going to do is go out there and do moves and there's nothing to connect the moves to, and there's nothing to like have a cohesion of something and make the people feel great and have them understand a story that you're trying to tell inside the ring, because I believe that's a lost art at the very moment. If you don't understand that, like, then, you lost the point of what it means to be a wrestler. Obviously you cannot just do entertainment stuff, because then, you should just end up being an actor or an actress. But for the most part, you got to learn how to blend and combine both of these things.
Very off-putting.
Well, Jim, maybe Ricochet, maybe the problem is,
what is his problem?
Maybe he missed that stomp. Maybe he's talking in a boring manner, in a voice that no one wants to hear. Maybe because he didn't get a good night's sleep.
Well, that is the thing. And I'll tell you what, I can tell you from experience, if you're not getting proper sleep, you can be off your game.
Okay.
The main event,
let's watch
the 6-man tag team match. Explain this one to me, Lucy. Ospreay and Felcher and Take a Shit with Don Fallis against the Hartley Boys and O'Cody. Okay. They're all heels except for Ospreay, who's supposed to be a babyface, after he asked out of the heel manager's stable. But the heel manager and his friend Felcher asked him to come back for this 6-man tag team match. But they're all heels. Who would give a shit about this? It makes no sense.
Exactly.
What is Don Fallis's purpose there now? Who is trying to get the heat here?
Nobody.
The one team is the EVPs that have been running rampant. They're not really running rampant anymore, but nothing was ever done to make them stop running rampant.
Pretty much.
And they pile drove the owner of the company.
And
it's never been mentioned again, and except it was just for the NFL documentary, right?
Right, and
that's what it felt like.
That was a big thing this week, where NFL released A Day with Tony Khan thing, where he had the neck brace on.
Yes.
And his idea of selling the angle was being able to do everything he would normally do, just wearing a neck brace.
Yes.
And other people from other teams were saying, "What's going on with that neck brace?"
They were making fun of him.
They were mocking him, as you would expect.
Much.
And he could hear them, and he even said in one of the clips, "Well, see if you like it if you get pile driven." What the fuck is about you?
And it seems like now, looking back, that he only did that for this documentary because it did nothing to help the business, nothing to build into future weeks of television. It was a useless, what should have been a major angle
When was the last time it was mentioned on TV?
I don't recall.
Yeah.
I don't
It
recall.
really wasn't.
The other thing in that NFL documentary, apparently they showed Tony Schiavone, Tony Khan, Tony Schiavone's avatar. They showed Tony Khan 5 years ago, like on an NFL field with his dad.
He looked normal, didn't he?
It was like another person. It was like another, not to say that if you would have sat down with him, he wouldn't have just spit out a bunch of shit like he does with everyone else.
I can vouch for phone calls.
But it's like night and day what the wrestling business has done to him. It's night and day.
Night and day. So anyway, you had 2 6-man heel teams going at each other. Why anybody would give a shit, I have no idea, except for the people who wanted to see a bunch of video game moves, because that's what this was. Nearly a half an hour with the overrun of indie-rific bullshit.
Yep.
They have their own referee, the corpse ref, Rick Knox. So they can do whatever, the flipping and flopping, the same old shit. I don't know there was a tag in the last 5 minutes of this match at least. It's just people running at each other and doing things. And most of them look like children.
So bad.
Shit's got a ton of potential, or did have. He's been wasted. They didn't do anything with him when they had the opportunity. Then they bring in other Japanese wrestlers that are much worse than he is and pay him a lot more. Felcher, good young athlete with some kind of focus on something. You could do something with him. Osprey, we've said, needs to be produced, or he'll just be a video game. But the people like him, and you could work with him. And of course, we know the Hardley Boys are a total loss. And Cody, how long is it going to be, Brian, before people quit pretending that this guy can move or can bump or can... He can't move. He doesn't bump. His strikes barely connect. He moves like a hippo with a hernia. And he's trying as hard as possible not to get hurt or break a sweat. He moves like he's in quicksand. Can you argue with anything I just said?
I have not watched a Okada match in AEW. I can tell you that during New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada controlled the match, and I basically said this whenever I would to review an Okada match, and whenever I would to tell my fans, like, hey, you know, this is what's happening in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is what it goes down and whatnot. Okada is a very, well, I mean, I should not. In general, Japan is very traditional, meaning that obviously Okada is like the older one, so like if you're in a match with Okada, you have to follow Okada. Okada dictates the pace of the match. Okada dictates like what happens during the match until you get your comeback in and whatnot. So Okada wrestles at a slower pace because in Japan almost everybody wrestles at a slower pace. You don't really get fast pace. Sometimes you do. Shingo can definitely turn up the fast pace. Goto can when you know, it calls for it in the match, but for the most part, 9 out of 10, most of the guys are going slow. So when you put Okada in the environment that is AEW, it is going to look like he cannot keep up, but I could tell you that he could keep up. It's just that Okada is more of a methodical kind of wrestler. So think of like Triple H. He's more like that kind of methodical kind of wrestler, like a Randy Orton, that kind of wrestler, a slow kind of wrestler that does what he wants to do. And when he has wrist control, ladies and gentlemen, when he has wrist control, it is over. Sometimes it's over, but when he has wrist control, that means that he is definitely in command. So I have not watched an AEW match that included Okada, but Okada is not a very fast-paced wrestler to keep up with everybody that wants to jump around, flip around, and don't have psychology when they do their moves.
I've always liked Okada in New Japan when I watched his big matches, but I cannot argue that he...
Oh, God, I can't believe, like, Brian last said that. interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, interesting.
He has been a non-entity in AEW, and despite the push and the belt and the alignment with the Bucks, he's been a non-entity, and in the ring, he has been disappointing, at least to me and seemingly to a lot of other people. And the other part of the problem is, on one side, you kind of have, in a perfect world, a little shot of the future. Ospreay, Fletcher, and again, I think the more you see of him, at least for me, yeah, he does a lot of the stupid stuff everyone does because those are all the people he's around and he has no one producing him. Who's giving him ideas? Don Callis?
No.
But he's got size and he's getting bigger. He's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Takeshita, I've always been high on, and you have too when you watch him. He's been a non-entity because he hasn't been around, but they're against the Bucks and Okada. The Bucks are dead. I mean, they are frighteningly dead. When you really think about the buzz they once had around them, it's amazing to see how little anyone cares about them and how little the AEW fans care about them.
Yeah.
And Okada?
But it's one thing. Once you've seen what you see, it ain't going to change.
And if you saw it in 2015, it's the same thing it is now. It's just they're older and less interesting. There's no potential anymore. It used to be, oh man, they can go to WWE or they could go to Ring of Honor or they could do this. They could start their own company. We're 5 years later. There's nothing left. Barely any hair left, but there's nothing left. And Okada, you know, at least he shows up for work. I'll give him that. There's a lot of millionaires in AEW who don't go to work, apparently. At least he shows up. But I tuned out of this match. And this isn't something I would have done a few years ago, even with the Bucks inclusion. But I didn't give a shit. And we know that they're building towards the story with the Callis family and Ospreay. It was all about the story, not about the match, but AEW focuses on the match, not the story.
Yeah. And again, if we knew whose side we were supposed to be on, this would be a lot easier.
You know whose side you're supposed to be on. The one baby face on one of the 6-man tag teams of heels.
Oh, Christ.
So one wrestler and 2 tag teams.
Then if he gets screwed over when he's teaming up with the people that are going to screw him over, then doesn't he deserve to get screwed over? Because, you know, what'd you think? Of course I bit you. I'm a snake.
I just want to know if anyone has the guts, if anyone has said to Tony Khan's face, you cannot book television. Even if you want to be the matchmaker for the pay-per-views, let someone else who's not one of the wrestlers put together the television show.
No.
The TV
never
does them any favors. And that's the whole job of the TV.
I bet you that probably the only person that ever told him to his face that he was a rotten booker is currently one of the biggest stars in the WWE.
Which one?
Well, and that doesn't even narrow it down. Either Punk or Cody, probably Punk. I don't know if Cody would. Cody just probably wanted to just get the fuck out of there before he got any on him. And yes, I love you all, but I must go.
It was very bad at the end, but the thing is, Cody's very diplomatic. Punk is not diplomatic, especially if you're going to be the one fucking him over. So
so I'm pretty sure Tony's heard it, but he doesn't listen to competent sources.
So the Bucks are dead. Okada's dead. The Ospreay Fletcher Callis thing is something, and of course you got the Ospreay Ricochet match, which they're determined to do very, very soon. Is that next week?
I think they said 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Coming out of the tag.
Got to give it a big long build.
Well, that was
2
AEW
weeks.
Dynamite.
It's always 2 weeks, right, guys? The fastest build up in the world, 2 weeks. Oh, okay. We could do that. We could watch this one too.
The $5 meal deal at McDonald's means you get to pick between a McDouble or...
I wish someone could buy me food. I want McDonald's. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to see. I remembered it now. This is Jim Cornette reviewing the whole Jon Moxley Commander friend. Jon Moxley and friends beating up Private Party and Commander on AEW. Like it.
We were at 9 o'clock in this 2-hour program with what we have just described to you. This is what they were airing while in the middle of a rights renewal rambunctiousness. So at 9 o'clock, here came Moxley the plumber, Claudio, and Marina Schaefer walking through that big empty arena to the ring. And they actually, one of the handheld shots kind of strayed too far over to the left for a minute with one of those spotlights playing around, and you could see one side of the building was completely empty. But
well, if you notice, they came out from the empty side so that when the camera shows them coming out, you would only see the fans behind them where the fans are situated.
Yep.
Yes, it's a piece of a very tough balancing act you got to do there between trying to get a shot and showing that there ain't nobody there. But then as soon as they walk to the ring, here comes Private Party, your favorite tag team, Brian. And they jumped Moxley, and he completely no-sold it, and they proceeded to beat the fuck out of Private Party. They couldn't even whip the girl.
He no-sold it to an insulting degree if I was one of those guys, to be very honest with you.
Unprofessionally, to be honest.
There's no selling, and then there's acting like the punch didn't happen, smirking and continuing to walk. That was ridiculous. That was egregious. If I was one of those guys, there'd be a problem.
And considering that Moxley is 0 for life against fucking Home Depot stock boys and fucking Kroger employees in these amateur jiu-jitsu tournaments, I have a feeling Private Party could probably handle him.
See, some babyface has to use that. John Moxley, I challenge you to a grappling match. I've seen the videos. You can't beat anybody. Come on, get in here and let's grapple.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, and it went forever. They just beat them up, and the girls beating them up. And then Commander ran out to help, and they beat him up. And then the girl beat up Alex. Poor Alex. What did he?
I would say that I think they want the girl to represent Rhea Ripley. Like, that's the only reason why they're, like, really pushing Marina, is to be like, oh, we need our own Rhea Ripley, so why not have Marina come in and beat everybody? But I really don't like the concept of, like, strong muscle woman can beat up everybody, including men, and they always give her the small, scrawny, lean-looking guys. You know, why don't you send out Wardlow, even though I heard that he has, like, still knee problems? Or why don't you send out a big muscular man to go, like, beat up Marina? Like, why is it always the skinny guys that end up going out there and getting their ass beat by a woman? Like, stop that. That's not equal.
He do. And then Moxley gets a toolbox and gets a hammer and a microphone. And which one did they have of the Private Party members held down there? Was it Quinn or was it Cassidy?
I don't even remember.
Well, whatever, they hold the baby face immobile, and he's struggling to get away, like, oh, let me loose. And he belittles him to his face and said, I'm going to give you a gift, and then hit his hand with the hammer. And then here
I think that was
Darby.
Cassidy. I think that was Isaiah Cassidy, because that was the one who cut the really good promo, I thought.
Well, that'll teach him. And then here comes Darby.
Why he said it that way?
To make the big save, and tackles Moxley, and they roll in the ring, and Darby's still carrying his skateboard, but he's not doing anything with it. Claudio doesn't get in the ring to help. Schaefer doesn't get in the ring to help. It's Moxley and Darby in the ring yelling at each other and then staring at each other, and then Moxley bailed out and Darby yelled at him some more. And thanks for coming, Private Party. Your thoughts?
Again, I will go back to Private Party because I was so happy they did a good promo, and then it was completely thrown away by the no selling of them. And then, of course, they just, for no good reason, they got his hand. Moxley's watching too many movies. See, that's the problem. Because AEW has this not even part-time schedule, he has a lot of time to sit there and catch up on cinema. And he's watching all the things that he hears about, and he just wants to take things from movies bring them into AEW, whether it's line for line dialogue or whether it's some of these things. This stuff is terrible. Every John Moxley thing in AEW has been some version of, I'm a complete badass, I'm going to sell nothing.
Yep.
And then just keep doing this. It was him as a solo. It was him with the BCC. And now it's him with whatever this is. Is this still the BCC?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it is.
They lost.
Apparently.
They lost Wheeler. A wheel came off.
A wheel came off. Oh my God,
who do you put
sir.
over in the match next week? Darby versus Moxley. Winner getting a title shot.
Well,
Does it have to be Moxley?
It has to be Moxley, doesn't it? Because didn't he just put a plastic bag over the goddamn champion's fucking head? So how is Darby going to get a title match against Danielson when and remember, I swear to God, when I was watching none of this 10 years ago or whatever it was, remember when Moxley was together in the WWE with Rollins and Roman Reigns?
The Shield.
Yes. Yeah, the Shield.
And Uncle Dave was saying, "Oh, but the star of this group is Moxley."
Yep, I don't know
and
how
I was like,
or why.
Boy, that guy must be pretty good because I know how good Tyler Black was.
The star of the group is the guy who has the best relationship with my website. That's what it is.
Well, there you go. Now we have found out that what the fuck.
Yep.
So one is the co-biggest star in the business right now, Roman and Cody.
Yes.
One is in the upper echelons of stars in the business, and one is this fucking drunken bum staggering around, losing his hair in front of our eyes on TV every Wednesday night, making no sense and stinking a joint out. Uncle Dave can pick them.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Sell it online.
The way that Jim Cornette comes up with his words and all this kind of stuff, I think it's a little bit more creative now than it was then. But the
best.
Yeah, I mean, he's totally right. Like, it makes no sense. It's always like this iteration of Moxley, but Moxley cannot create a character. He doesn't know how to create a character. I don't understand. Like, I would love to have a sit down chat with him and maybe try to like get into his brain and pick his brain and be like, yo, what is wrong with you? Do you not know how to, make a character? It can't just be, off of this. Like, when you're a wrestler, you want to create a character. Sometimes you can pull inspiration from the fandoms that you like, but you have to be on a very like consistent basis when you're pulling from the fandoms that you like. So for example, if you are so into anime and you want to do anime stuff, like you could definitely do that. Like wrestling can allow you to do something related to anime, but you have to be very, very consistent. You have to tell that story inside, outside the ring. It's a lot more mentally taxing because you do have to at least somewhat stay in character if like you're gonna get video filmed outside, because you want to keep up the persona that you love anime so much, and this is why you wear the cute outfits and you cosplay. That's why like I have a slight whenever Selena does her cosplaying, like I'm not gonna know what it is. Like I understand she likes anime, but like why doesn't she pitch it to Triple H to be like, look, I want to try to do some type of like anime thing where we could do, special effects or do something and have somebody combat her that also likes anime and like create her own thing rather than creating like a bra and panty set of the anime cosplay. And like, I'm never going to know this. I'm never going to know who you're cosplaying as if like you're not prepping me ahead of time. Like, oh, because she likes anime, she's coming out in anime clothing. So like when it comes to gear, it bothers me sometimes. But to bring the point home is that like you got to be consistent with what you want to do, and like the character, your wrestling character should at least come from your motivations, your goals, come from within you. Maybe if you do watch something and you get inspired by whatever you watch, that'd be great. But for the most part, it's like it should be in you. You should be a creative person. You could take inspiration from like a lot of different things, turn it into something, and bam, you have a character. But don't do what John Moxley is doing of like, wanting to be a badass, knowing that, bro, you're not a badass. Like, there's nothing for me to believe that you're a badass. And all the, fans that follow him blindly could never tell you why he's a badass or how he could be a badass. We are going to watch one more video. I really want to bring to Notion, not the app or the software. But you know, Stevie Richards like leaving social media. I didn't realize it was a 23-minute video, but like this is just something for us to talk about and realize that it could be a possibility. Most of the time, people in the IWC are just chronically online. So if they come across this video in the VOD and they see this, you know, it could probably do some good for them mentally. And by the way, guys, if you are lurking or just stopping by or whatever, say hi in the chat, say what's up. I respond to everybody. I say hi to everybody, and make sure to hit that like button right here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast.
So in today's video, we're obviously going to talk about the title of this video concerning social media. And just to give you a little bit of a spoiler before we get into it, it's not anything dramatic. It's not anything as far as a mental health break or I got to get away from it or there's some kind of goofiness going on social media. Although there's
I mean, I'm here streaming. I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today I just started a little bit late, but thank you for joining the chat and the stream, Raheem. Yeah, listen, the last time that I had to leave because I got invited to a wrestling event, that was a very good time. Okay, that was a very fantastic time. But like I said, I stream I stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays unless I say otherwise. I missed Wednesday, so I'm just here. By the way, this is the last video of the whole entire stream. I might end up streaming again tomorrow just to you know, say what's up to my usuals. And that'll be at the regular time.
There's always some form of goofiness attached to social media, but I was really doing
I like Steve too.
A lot of self-assessment, especially in the past week or two, and that's why I haven't posted as often lately here to the Stevie Richards Fitness YouTube channel. It's because I was really looking from a creator standpoint about the quality of my product, about the quality of the videos, about what I can envision the videos, the content, the entire brand, not just for Stevie Richards Fitness, but also the Stevie Richards Show. And I really had to take a good hard look at myself, my habits, which were years and years and years on social media. And even more importantly,
I guess it is. I never really figured out Wrestling Soup. I know that there's a podcast called Wrestling Soup, but I have no idea what they do. So you might have to teach me, Denisha. I like to react to certain videos with people so that way I can, well, people meaning my community, so that way we could get like a conversation going and talking about stuff and just, you know, me giving my other opinion. But I really do think that this is very important to talk about the effects of social media, even though like I use social media for like everything and to create stuff and to bring you guys entertainment. But for the most part, it does kind of like affect us on a whole, you know, a whole nother level when it comes to our development of like, you know, understanding context clues, understanding like a lot of things. Like it really messes us up.
Then what am I getting out of the social media? What's my content on social media doing to serve others as far as the mission statement of Stevie Richards Fitness, to help others? What is it doing as far as the Stevie Richards Show with educating people and hopefully entertaining with both brands? So I had to take a good hard look at that. And it was my wife, thank God for her, for every reason in the world. But she had kind of removed herself from social media, deleted the apps off her phone, didn't delete her accounts, much like I haven't. We'll get to that in a second. But she did that. And I just noticed how more productive she was, how much more productive she was, how much more centered she was, calm, not checking her phone. So about a week or 10 days ago, I deleted all the social media apps. I had Instagram and Facebook. That's basically the only two I ever really check or go to. I don't even really go to Twitter, haven't in a very long time, and never really had the app on there. It was always the web browser I would open up and check it once in a while. I'm talking about once every 2 weeks, maybe a month. The one time I did was told to check from James, my co-host on the Stevie Richards Show, and other people, was actually for the most positive reason for social media and why I was thankful. I was looking for my match, Mr. Perfect, from WWE International Sunday Night Heat, and I could not find it for years. And the fans stepped up and they found it, and I was like, and this is how I'm
That's
about to
good.
say I'm done with social media. So obviously, like The Godfather, you have that feeling like just when I'm trying to get away, they're trying to pull me back in. So thank you to each and every one of the people out there. There was multitude, like a dozen or so people that sent me the link through email, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook Messenger. So thank you so much for that. So it made the decision at that moment a little bit tougher, but as I'm going to say today, it's not so much the drama or the polarization, the tribalism, all the things that social media really does kind of promote, and it really can get ugly out there in the social media space. Mine, however, I think is for the best of reasons, and we actually have a PNG file that I'm going to put in the description below. So if you want this to see how you can do what I'm going to show you in a minute, what I'm doing right now to structure pretty much my day and hopefully for the rest of my life have a structure that's more productive and positive and improving every aspect that has been lacking. And that's what we're going to get into right now, because social media, I didn't even realize that the average time per day that each human being spends on social media is well over 2.5 hours on the average. And when I looked at my screen time on social media, it was even more than that. And my excuse for it was, well, I'm using it for my business. I have to use it. And I really had to take a good hard look at how much of a percentage was for my business, for my brand.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't that much of a high percentage. You got to be honest with yourself. And that's what I had to do. And it was kind of rough to do that. You always want to kind of convince yourself that you're hustling and you're being super productive and all this stuff.
That is true. Oh my God, that is true. The amount of IG videos when I'm just scrolling on by when I'm like not doing anything. Okay, it is a podcast on YouTube. You know what? I have never seen an episode from Wrestling Soup. So maybe tomorrow we'll watch an episode so that I can like get a feel for it. I think some people that I know on my Twitter timeline do Wrestling Soup. Oh, they're mean to Mercedes. Well, I mean, it depends on how mean. Like if they're like over, like if they cross a boundary, then like no. But if they're just like making jokes, we'll see. We'll see. Which brings me to my point. If you want me to react to any of their videos that you guys saw, join my Discord, go into the match recommendations, and you can definitely do it there. You can like tag me in it so that way tomorrow I could be like, all right, let's watch this, yeah. In the match reactions, you'll end up doing it. So if you guys want to do that for me, because I don't even know it's kind of racist. Oh God. We are listening to Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards is explaining why he left social media. And I think that's just a very good like topic for us to like generally just talk about. But yeah, if you guys haven't, join my Discord as we talk about, social media and if like we should leave or not leave or anything like that. So that way you guys can link me any of the videos to Wrestling Soup and I'll watch it and react to it. I mean, oh, they make jokes. I'll say they do make jokes on Mercedes. She's a hot mess. Listen, go join the Discord. Go make a thread. Tag me and I'll watch it and I'll react to it and we'll see if it's we'll see what they're all about. But I wanted to mention before I get off track again. Stevie Richards is totally right that like sometimes when I'm not streaming and I'm not doing anything productive on, online or whatnot, to help like my business and push my business forward. I do kind of like, I guess we're going to call it doom scrolling, like on IG. And there's so many videos, so many short videos about like, oh, you're not doing X, Y, and Z to be more productive. This is how you be more productive. And like those gurus of, you should wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and do all this kind of stuff before like everybody else and you'll be ahead of everybody. Like, that doesn't help. That does not help nobody. It really doesn't. I would just like to say that, like, do not believe everything that you watch on social media. It's just kind of easy to just talk. And most of the time people just talk to talk unless they want to do a vlog to show you. But then again, they edit stuff in their life and in their little mini vlog to show you what they want to show you. And those are very, very key words, key phrases. They basically chop it up and show you what they want to show you. So that way they could say, see, look, I do exactly what I say. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I listen to this audiobook on 2 times the speed. So that way I can understand it. And I have my coffee and I put protein in it, which, by the way, I think that's kind of gross. Like, why would you want to put protein in coffee? Like, I don't know. I would think it's kind of gross. I don't know if I will one day try putting protein powder in like coffee, but like that's not me. Just give me a regular like iced coffee. Don't put anything else in it except for like cream and or milk and sugar. That's it. Maybe some flavor, but that's about it. But no protein in there. Anyway, like all those videos about, how to be the most productive self are like bullshit.
Was not. And where I'm really noticing it as I look back at the videos here on the YouTube channel, and I'm very proud of what I put out, and I'm very, how do I say, I wouldn't say satisfied, because I'm going to get to why I'm not satisfied about that and how I'm going to try to change that in my very best possible effort that I could put forward. But the videos, I put them up on YouTube and we published them, and I'm happy with them. They give information. I interact with the audience, everybody that comments, which I thank you for doing that and interacting. You're more than welcome to comment on this video as well. But as I looked at it, I was like, I can do so much better. We have a lot of different YouTube channels that my wife and I enjoy, especially one in particular, Trent the Traveler. And this guy, you should definitely check him out. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. He does reviews. Now he reviews some tech products or other things that he has that sponsor his videos. He's mainly living in a van, traveling all around the country. He edits videos. He does graphics for videos and movies and TV shows and stuff like that as he works remote in the van. But his editing and storytelling, even when he's reviewing a product like the ROG Ally,
he's
reviewing that, but he's telling a story that brings you in, and it's cinematic. It's great information. It's immersive. It's an escape. And there's a review in there. So as a fitness product reviewer and trying to bring information to everybody out there, I'm like, that is a great way to combine those two things. Maybe a little bit of a vlog, documentary style, give a little bit of information, a little bit of a personal journey, and review a product all in one. Now, have I got the formula and format down? No, I have not. So I'm going to definitely subscribe to Trent's Patreon, where he teaches you how to film, edit, and all that stuff on the $1 tier. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. But watching that and other creators as well, but I'm just singling out Trent because the formula and the format speak to me, and also how authentic he is in that. And it took him years. I watched older videos of him, and it took a little bit to get that niche of his true self coming out. And that's what I want. That's what I desire for this channel, for this brand, and for everything that I do, whether it be for the fitness or the wrestling brand. I want to bring all that and give as much production value as possible. And I've said for months, if not years, I want to learn DaVinci Resolve. I want to learn how to be a better video editor. I want to learn the manual settings on this Sony a7 IV much better. I want to be able to, even if I stick with Final Cut, I want to be able to use Final Cut to the most amount of potential, maximum.
Listen, you don't need to waste your time with Final Cut. You don't need to waste your time with Final Cut. You can still do some pretty cool shit in DaVinci Resolve. I've seen other content creators use DaVinci Resolve. I currently use Filmora, Wondershare. I have a lifetime subscription, and that's what I use for the gaming videos. And if I need to do a vlog over on the wrestling side, you don't need Final Cut anymore. You don't need it. You can even use CapCut. It'll be the same thing. See, the thing is that like we are presented with so many options when it comes to like video editing and like audio editing and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes the product that you use, if you know how to manipulate certain things and do amazing transitions and download like any type of extra packs that can enhance the visuals and stuff like that, and what is it, graphics, CGI, maybe something like that. You know, there are different ways to do it, but you really don't need Final Cut Pro anymore. You can use like all the stuff I mentioned. I'm surprised he didn't say Adobe Premiere. Everybody uses Adobe Premiere. Like, you really don't. Just by looking what like Trent does and like how he does it, it's how he sets up the shots. It's how you know, what he has available, like the sun and whatnot, knowing the time of day that he's going to shoot stuff, and you know, he might have to do reshoots just because like it might not be right, the stuff you have. But yeah, you don't really need Final Cut. You don't need it.
The potential of the editing software, and I have not been doing that because the 2.5 or more hours per day that I think I'm running my business, I'm using air quotes, running my business on social media, I'm not doing that at all. And I was trying to think, what do I really enjoy? What brings me joy when I do it? Filming, being in front of a camera, not so much. I get nervous even to this day. But the editing, the putting it together, getting the format, my stuff has not been organized. Even though I've subscribed and bought courses on filmmaking, I haven't even applied or used any of the assets, the hero's journey, the storyboarding, sound design, all these different things that I haven't even touched. So the videos I have up on the channel are only a fraction of the quality and the format and the storytelling that I want to bring to each and every one of you. I want to do a mini documentary each and every week here on the channel, even if it's about an all-in-one trainer, an X3 bar, resistance bands, a workout program, whatever it might be. I want to do that. And 2.5 hours or more per day will add up. They say if you spend 18 minutes.
Okay, I will say this, that you can hear it in his voice, because I'm the same way too. I'm in the same boat. This is why like I wanted to watch this, is because like I think I needed to hear this. I'm in the same fucking boat. And I'll say that because I'm sharing one laptop between two people, and I can't put out as much content as I want, as I used to put out so much content. I believe that at the end of the year, Spotify tells you like how much like how many episodes in your podcast that you put out, and I put out like so many episodes in that 1 year. I don't remember how much it was, and I have to find the picture, and I can't do that at this very moment, and it kind of just freaking bothers me that I can't do certain things, even though I use the word can't. And somebody would tell me that, oh, you shouldn't be using that word, you know, because surely you can. Like, I can definitely go out, walk around, and like, you know, film in my environment, but I don't want to film in my environment, especially not in New York City. My content is all about professional wrestling. I don't have the means to like travel here and there to do the vlogs and stuff like that. So I have to like supplement with reacting to videos or I just realized that we're not even watching the thing. I'm here looking at the video and you guys didn't tell me that that's weird. Wow.
Today.
1 second. That See, this is why I say that this is how you know I'm a streamer. Because I forget to do shit. I forget to like check on stuff. So we have been listening to Stevie Richards the whole entire time. And I was wondering, I was like, why am I not seeing the video right now on, you know, in YouTube Studio? Because I'm checking that too. And I was like, why is that not there? Oh my God, no one told me that we didn't have the video on. But you were listening, at least you were listening to what was happening. Anyway, I'm telling you, being a streamer, man, it's live, anything happens, and this is what I enjoy the most, that anything can happen on live. Because if not, if this was like videotaped, I would probably like, I don't know, I feel more comfortable being live than if I'm doing like a standalone video. You know, I do many takes, but I just want to say that, like, I think we're watching this because I needed to hear this too, but you can hear in Stevie's voice that he wants to do this. And I believe that he wants to do this, and I will be in his corner cheering him on to do this. Because I really do appreciate his videos. I appreciate his videos on wrestling. I just haven't watched the fitness ones yet, but I do appreciate his passion for wanting to like go the next step and like, you know, have less social media and stuff like that, and, you know, do all this kind of stuff and whatnot. Sometimes it feels like other people have their shit together, but in reality, no one has their shit together. And we're just doing things that look like we have our shit together, but we really don't have our shit together. I don't have my shit together, but I love doing what I do. And if you love doing what you're doing, it's not going to feel like work. None of this here feels like work. The only time it feels like work is when I'm like, yo, what the hell we're going to watch? What am I going to do today? You know, I wish that, you know, we can watch wrestling matches. I believe I'll test it out one day to like watch some wrestling matches on YouTube. For some reason, my Twitch is just dead, if I'm going to be honest. So, you know, on YouTube, wrestling, the wrestling community is thriving over here on YouTube. So I would love to watch some wrestling with you guys. Or even plan something with the Discord and try to do something with that. But I want to take things one step at a time. But I don't even remember what I was like mentioning, other than like I am rooting for Stevie right now.
Mastering a skill, whatever it might be, mastering something. In a year, you'll be better than 95% of the people that are in your field.
This is true.
Now, I'm going to probably put more than 18 minutes a day in it because I really do enjoy this kind of content creation and the behind the scenes stuff. But at the same time, if I did do 18 minutes or just 30 minutes, just a fraction of the 2.5 hours that I was spending on social media, if not more. Say it's 3 hours. So basically 30 minutes is even 1/3. It's 1/6 if my math, I'm a wrestler, not a mathematician.
Right.
Damn it. There's my Star Trek thing.
I got that.
You know, but it's a fraction. 30 minutes a day is nothing. 18 minutes a day is nothing. 1 hour a day doing what I could do. I could sit here and edit, and an hour will go by like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do enjoy doing that stuff. And the social media gets you doom scrolling and sucked in. And, you know, really, that's not even the mental stuff or the emotional stuff, or the comparison is the thief of joy and all that. I'm not even getting into that. This is strictly a time management thing. I could do so much more with my time. I can be such a better video editor, such a better filmmaker, a better storyteller, a better anything, be more present in whatever I'm going to do. Even just playing the Steam Deck or playing a video game against one of my friends online. I can do that without having to think, well, how can I?
I did not know he plays video games. I would like to know what games he plays so that way I could play with him. But then again, I don't know if he has an Xbox. I don't really play computer games like that. My laptop can't handle like, you know, most computer games. So I would like to know what games he plays.
Do this or that or the other thing. I literally have eliminated a lot of hobbies in order to try to just be productive. So that's a whole nother thing that we could talk about.
By the way, please do not eliminate your hobbies to just be productive. Sometimes you need a hobby to be productive. If your hobby is playing video games, just know that, you know, everything in moderation. I'm not saying that Stevie is wrong here. He's definitely not. He could definitely, you know, want to go that route of like not having hobbies anymore or eliminating hobbies. But hobbies help you create better content. Because if you're constantly thinking about how to create the best content in the world and overthinking how to do that, it is going to, it is definitely going to be very bad. Because then you're gonna be afraid and stuff like that, and it's not gonna work out right. I'm someone who overthinks my content all the time. I overthink my content all the time. So, you know, I get it. But please do not eliminate any hobbies. Hobbies help you out when it comes to creating the best content and the best version of yourself.
If you want me to continue something like this with this kind of content, so please let me know. Like I said below, comment and let me know. But I'm going to stop talking about that. That was the problem. I was spending too much time on social media. Even this, I could probably write out a little bit of a bullet point format, use the teleprompter, but I'm kind of like, you know, going as I go. It's kind of just a raw kind of vlog type of thing that comes straight from my heart, which I try to do in each and every video. But
He does.
I created a schedule. I went on Canva. I created a schedule. It's very rough. It's not.
By the way, if you're looking for a free graphic design website where, like, you know, if you don't have the skills, I certainly don't have the skills, but I managed to create, you know, merchandise. I could the logo, thumbnails, all this kind of stuff. Use Canva, canva.com. I am not sponsored by them. I am not an affiliate with them, but I use Canva so much to the point where I created over 1,000 designs on everything that I've done ever since 2015. Which is kind of crazy. I think, yeah, wow. Something like that. Like, I know did I start it in 2015? Oh my God, hold on. Give me a second, guys. I don't know if they're going to tell me when I signed up. Stevie looks mad weird there. I'm sorry, Stevie. Yes, I don't think it tells me when I signed up, but like I created like over 1,000 designs in Canva just using the free version and whatnot. So yeah, it's fine. I don't have to really look at it. Creating using the free version only because I'm not gonna go up to pro because of the money and whatnot. But Canva.com, I love Canva.
Not set in stone, but just a blueprint, the skeleton, the structure of a schedule will keep me honest and probably keep me away from social media, keep me more productive and do other things that I need to do. Now, one other thing before we get into the schedule, because people will say, well, isn't that going to hurt your business?
No.
Are companies and brands going to want to stop working with you due to the fact that you don't have a social media presence anymore?
No.
Now, I still have the accounts, the numbers are there, although I'm not fostering or cultivating or posting. That is a chance I'm willing to take because I really do believe that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not even sure if he's ever going to look at this video or if I'm ever going to cut it up and put it as a regular single video. No, it's not going to matter. There are companies, for the most part, they say that the companies look at how many followers you get, your engagement, but like you can leverage any other thing that you do, that you uniquely do to the brand. But that doesn't mean that you're pitching to every single brand out there in the world. You should be pitching to the brands that align with your mission statement, that align with your community, and that align with the work that you do, because that is how you get the brand deals that will pay you the most money, that will become loyal with you and like create all this kind of stuff. Like, you're not going to go out there and pitch to 100 brands a day and be like, you know, let me get something, you know, because it's not going to work out that way. You might get like one or two like callbacks or whatever, but you really don't need to have active social media to prove that you are valuable and your community is valuable. Like that whole thing about, would you rather have 100,000 followers or 1,000 followers? The 1,000 followers that show up day in and day out when you are streaming, when you drop a video, when you drop a podcast, when you go collaborate with somebody else, that 1,000 followers will always be there. And that's a lot more valuable to tell the brand, hey, I have 1,000 loyal followers. They follow me everywhere. I did this collaboration with this other content creator, and this is how it went. This is how it blew up. This is how my community helped me gain more traction, help my collaborator gain more traction as well. And this is a testament to it too, right? You guys heard me on PWT, Pro Wrestle Times. You heard me talk with Phil. You heard me, go over wrestling headlines with him. And I have received nothing but love from his community. I'm even in his Discord. So we kind of shared our audiences together, and I managed to get some amazing people from his community to join with my community. And we both try as much as we can to like help each other, interact with each other, and whatnot. He's doing very well. I'm doing very well. And see how we both came together and helped each other out. I can use that as an example of building a foundation of community, us together. And even I can leverage that and be like, I can help bring like the communities together. So even if like, you want to use the social media following, that's just one metric. There are other metrics. And if the brand doesn't want to work with you because you don't have an active follower account, no one is really active. If you don't have 100,000, 200,000, 1 million fans, then that brand is not for you. You align yourself with the brands that you want to work with, that line up with your mission statement and what your followers want. That's why sometimes, when we're watching podcast clips and podcast episodes, and there's an affiliate, marketing strategy of like, hey guys, if you use my affiliate link for such and such, you'll get this amount off, and you get to have all these benefits and whatnot. But it's like, does your community go towards eBay every single time? Is your chatting with you, even though like most of these guys don't like interact with fans like that, like on a live stream? Like on a live stream, you be able to ask your chat like, hey guys, who in here wants who in here shops at eBay all the time? If you're like a card collector, right, you might go to eBay. So if you sign up for an affiliate marketing sponsorship, I was gonna say collaboration, if you sign up for like the affiliate marketing for eBay, and that everyone that comes to your streams or your videos are card collectors, you will put an appropriate ad in there that says, hey, go shop at eBay, use my link, and you guys can get all the cards you want. I don't know, something like that. I might have got off topic, but like, it's going to be okay if Stevie doesn't use social media like that to get the brand deals that he wants. Ultimately, you are pitching yourself, you're pitching your community, and you're pitching how you can benefit with them. Keyword, with them. You are pitching how your value that you bring to the table with your fans, you're pitching to the brands what you can do for them and what they could do for you, and how it could be a match made in heaven. You're not really you can tell them, oh yeah, I have this many followers, that many followers, but why? We get it, you have followers, but what can you do that can showcase the value that you bring not only to your followers because somebody is following you, for the value and entertainment that you bring to them? If you're not doing any of that, and you bought all the bots, and you bought all the views, and you bought all the followers, then like, you're not going to get what you want to get. I know that's a very long-winded answer to Stevie Richards, but he's going to be okay. If he's not going to use social media, he's going to be okay.
That something, I believe God, you can believe whatever you want, is pulling or pushing me in a different direction to do this kind of thing. You never know. I might, do video editing for money. I might do filmmaking. I might do whatever. I love doing all that stuff and telling a story. So with that being said, let's go to what could be the solution. And what we have over here.
Talk about ads, right? Talk about ads. I don't know if I can.
Getting a fresh deal at Subway has never been easier.
I can't skip these ads.
Long in the app, get another free.
I might have to make this bigger.
Just a rough schedule. Like I said, I'm gonna blank this out.
Sir, why are you waking up at 3:30 in the morning? Why? Don't wake up at 3:30 in the morning. That's just me, man. Like, I don't know. Waking up at 3:30 in the morning. Okay, so he wakes up at 3:30 in the morning, Monday through Sunday. Cardio. Bible study. I didn't know he does Bible study. Interesting. Editing. So you do Bible study for 5:30, 6:30. So hold on. 6:30. Oh, so like an hour? No, like an hour and a half. Editing. What is SRS for Wednesday? He's probably going to mention it. Eat, wait. Okay. He goes outside. Nothing at 10. At 12 he eats, learn, play, eat, and then bedtime and lights out. 3:30 is a little too much, man. I'm just saying. I'm still gonna be your cheerleader, but 3:30 is too much.
And then put it in the description, linked up to a Dropbox link. You're free to download it and just write whatever you want in there. If you want to create your own schedule, I'll take out the times and, of course, the things that I'm doing in these time frames on here. So we have time starting at 3:30 a.m. I still wake up every day around 3:30 a.m., my wife and myself, and usually lights out at
That's crazy. I'm just saying, that's crazy.
8 p.m. We'll get to that because we say bedtime at 6, lights out at 8. 3:30 a.m., wake up every day. Sometimes on Saturday and Sunday, we sleep in a little bit, but we're generally our body clock. We're waking up by 4:30 at the very, very latest. 4 a.m., cardio. Right there. It's cardio straight across the board, whether it's boxing, all that. Now, this can be grouped together with filming. So if I'm doing something in the garage gym for B-roll,
exactly.
Like using a fight camp, I got a new sauna in there. I got another sauna and a cold plunge coming. All these things can be B-rolled. So we are kind of multitasking. That's another thing I have to get away from multitasking because I start half-assing everything. But in this vein, I can set a camera up and do a few sets or do whatever, and then move the camera during my break. So it doesn't interfere with my workout or my fitness journey a whole lot. 5:30 a.m. Bible study. This has been very important, and I haven't been doing this enough. Even on days we do it, we read our devotional, and then my wife has been such an inspiration with really hunkering down on her Bible study. I need to get a large print. My eyes are just starting to go. The guy get the large print at 52. So 7 a.m. Some days it's going to be different than others.
Stevie Richards is 52. Looks damn good for 52.
Monday and Tuesday, editing. So the B-roll, I import the B-roll. If I'm filming, I start editing. I tell a story. Once a week, hopefully I'll be able to put together a very tight mini documentary type thing or a review that's cinematic and things like that. That's what I'm looking to do. So we have, like I said, Monday and Tuesday is editing. Wednesday is a little bit different because James, the co-host of the Stevie Richards Show, is over in England. So it works out perfect. We get to record around 7 a.m. So we go about 7 to about 10, sometimes 9 or 10, whatever it might be. So then on Thursday and Friday, it's editing. Then Saturday and Sunday, I try not to come into here to the studio. I try to really be as productive as possible with editing and filming.
SRS is the Stevie Richards Show. Okay, got it.
And trying to put together this more cinematic type of content. Saturday and Sunday may be editing, but I don't think so. I'd rather have quality time doing this, be
Yep.
productive, and then look forward to doing it. So
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday, nothing really. 8 a.m., I eat anywhere between 7 and 8 a.m. I'll eat and then do weights. Now, I've split
Mhm.
my workouts up where the cardio is fasted, and then I split it. I do my weights. So is that a 2-a-day? Kind of. I have to feel it out. Some days I don't feel like doing the second workout, but by splitting them up, I am putting some muscle back on, and I actually have lost some weight at the same time. So my body composition is changing. So if you want to see that video about how I'm trying to put muscle back on at 52 years old, I'm happy to share everything. There's no secrets about that. It's working out very well so far, but I am going by feel. So I have to see how I feel about that. You could see on Wednesday that 8 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. is not there because we're recording the show. Now back to Tuesday, eating weights and 9:30 a.m. we record the Raw SmackDown review and Master Street Theater. That goes until about noon. Then I eat lunch. So we'll go ahead and go across the days here. Now, this is very important. I think it is. On Monday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday with my wife when she's home, I have to get outside. I haven't gotten outside nearly enough. I've been
Same.
stuck here, not stuck, but I feel like I'm stuck here because I'm
Same.
not devoting myself to time management. That's why the schedule is important. And getting outside, going to the beach, which also could be filming more cinematic B-roll, having some
Yes.
fun, getting outdoors, doing an outdoor workout instead of, doing the weights in the gym here or the apartment gym. So
Yes.
that could be all kind of put together. You see, there's a skeleton of a blueprint, but this is what we have. So I'm trying to get outside more, get my vitamin D, get a free tan, all that stuff. So 10 a.m. outside still, trying to get outside maybe until I have to come home and eat lunch on Monday, Tuesday, and then we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Same thing. Try to get outside. If I come home a little bit earlier and I want to watch some YouTube or I want to play a video game, it doesn't matter. But I do have a set aside time to actually play, and you'll see that in a little bit. So you have the Stevie Richards Show post production at 10 a.m. This means we have ISO video camera angles, ISO audio, the smart board, all that stuff. I have to get that ready. I have to put it in Final Cut. I got to play with the audio and all that stuff. And then through WeTransfer, transfer it out. So usually the whole morning's eaten up by that. Then I eat lunch on that day. So across the board at noon, eat lunch no matter what day of week it is. Then 1 p.m. is learn/play. This is a 3-hour window, whatever I want to do. I can't sit here and, kind of learn, say, DaVinci Resolve for 3 hours. And I can't play video games for 3 hours anymore. As much as I like to, I cannot do that. So it's a good window of after I eat, decompress, learn, play, maybe write some notes down for ideas as I'm watching YouTube videos or anything like that. Kind of still working, but trying to have fun with it, active recovery type stuff. So learn and play. Then Saturday and Sunday, that was Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday will be movie time with my wife. Is it right at 1 o'clock? It could be 2, it could be 3, whatever it's going to be. We watch a movie together. And I will admit, I like watching Hallmark movies with my wife.
Oh
They're
my
nice,
God.
they're wholesome, they're predictable. There's always a misunderstanding an hour and 40 into it when you have commercials, 2-hour movie on Hallmark. So just a little bit of a spoiler there, but we like it. And I love seeing my wife enjoy Hallmark movies, especially during Christmas. She got me to kind of fall in love with Christmas again after years and years in a childhood that didn't really afford me the enjoyment of Christmas. I get to enjoy it now. So once again, my wife, I'll just thank her till the day I'm not here anymore. She's amazing. So 4 p.m. we eat. I don't like to eat too late, so we start getting ready for bed at 6 o'clock. So I don't want to eat too late. Sometimes that's 3 o'clock or 3:30, but across the board we eat around 3 to 4 p.m. Or my wife will come home. I'll eat with her. I'll eat before she comes home, and then help her. Hopefully, if she needs me to make her dinner, I'm happy to do that. I don't know. I'm not the cook she is, but I try. 6 p.m. This is where people are going to make fun of me. You
Yeah.
wake up at 3:30 a.m. Now it's going to make sense because
I was doing that earlier. Being like 3:30 is way too early, man.
6 p.m. is bedtime. We start getting ready. We usually watch our favorite YouTuber, one of them, Michael Bordenaro. He has a real estate channel, a finance channel. We watch that because it's good and we'd like to support him. He's a fellow Floridian. I still can't say it after 3 years of living here, but we get ready after that, start getting ready. And part of that's going to be our nighttime marriage devotional that we read. We take turns reading that. So between that and then after that, we'll watch channels like the Y Files if the Y Files has a video up. I like watching like stuff on space, the solar system. There's a channel called Astrom, SEA. There's tons of stuff. I don't try to watch things while I'm learning, like DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut tutorials, because then my brain is going. I'm trying to wind down and trying to do that kind of stuff. Recently, I've been watching a lot of Batman documentaries, which relaxes me and winds me up at the same time about behind the scenes or different things. We like to support certain channels that really do inspire us to create better content, my wife and myself. And then around 8 p.m., it's usually lights out, but also it's usually me holding the remote and sleeping, and my wife takes the
Oh, wow.
shuts the TV off.
Sir.
Or I wake up and I go, no, I'm still watching it, which I'm not. Guys, for some reason, need that noise from the TV to fall asleep. I used to fall
Yep.
asleep to The Dark Knight. My wife estimates I've watched it since it came out on DVD back in the day. That's how old I am. She calculates, we both calculate, I watched The Dark Knight over 5,000 times. Easy. And actually, after I record this, I'm probably going to watch it again because it's just the perfect movie, my favorite movie. I believe it's the greatest movie ever made. Leave a comment below, especially if you disagree. So that's our schedule, Monday to Sunday. And sometimes on the Sunday I'll watch Red Zone, but I'm getting away from even doing that and trying to be a little bit more present with my wife and productive. She wants me to watch Red Zone and football, but I catch the highlights the next day, and we save, $15 a month that way. I've cut all the subscriptions out to save money, and we can do a video about that too. There's a lot of different videos if you guys want to see them, but that's the schedule. It will be in the description below. It'll be a Dropbox link probably. You can download it. You can try it. Please share it with me. Email me, StevieRichardsFitness@gmail.com. Let me know what your schedule's like. Let me know how you're trying to format this stuff. And like I said, social media, it wasn't one of those things where it was super negative. It was just how I was mismanaging my time and how I want to be better at time management and actually be more present and create a better brand, create better content, and really maximize the potential of the incredible technology that I have available to me to be able to put the best product out there for each and every one of you. And hopefully I'll try to improve. It's not going to be perfect. I don't know how fast I'm going to pick it up, but hopefully each and every video will have a little bit of improvement that you notice. I appreciate the subscriptions. I appreciate the interaction. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Clicking the bell to get notified. Philly accent. There we go. I should put a thing in there about voice therapy to eliminate my Philly accent. We'll see about that. But most importantly, thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.
I have not questioned a single thing here, and we've created so many moments, and that is my favorite.
Okay. Basically, that was a fantastic video. I will grab that link as well, and I will link the video into the description and also in the pinned comment and stuff. So this was our Friday edition. Usually I start around maybe like 11, 12, 1, like in that area. But again, I had to do something during that time, so we started a little bit later. I do want to appreciate everyone that came on by, everyone that chatted with me. Denisha, thank you so much for being here. Raheem, thank you so much for being here. Lion, thank you so much for being here as well. Thank you for giving me any type of likes. You guys are free to do any like last minute likes if you guys want to. But yeah, maybe tomorrow we will be live streaming so I could take a look at some wrestling soup stuff and some Eric Bischoff stuff. And I think that's all I have for this little mini thing of what we do and reactions and stuff. By the way, guys, again, join the Discord community. If you want me to react to something, you can create a thread inside of the Discord, tag me, and I will react to it live on stream. We are getting there to YouTube partner, which I am so happy about. We're getting there, guys. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. And I appreciate every single one of you for helping me out in any of the smallest way possible. So yeah, join the Discord. Make sure to read the description. Make sure to read the comment down below right here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast. For everyone on Twitch, thank you for supporting me over there as well. Yeah, this was amazing. Just watch some videos, hang out with you guys for a little bit. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching a live episode of the Square Circle Podcast where Marie Shadows reacts to a bunch of videos and gave her opinion on the Vince McMahon documentary. But again, make sure to pay attention to the comment, the description, and also hit that follow button right here on the youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast and hit that bell notification to always be notified when I go live. And whenever I drop a brand new video, you want to be in the know. That is how you're going to be in the know and be exclusive to that. Because I love everybody here. I really, really do. Thank you so much for tuning in and chatting with me. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow. If not, stay tuned to my socials and stay tuned to the community post right here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast, where I give you guys updates on what's going to be happening. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all.